Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some NFL player props I like on Prizepicks for this Week 2 Thursday Night Football game between the Chargers and the Chiefs. This Thursday night, we got a great game on tap. This one should be a lot of fun. It should be a fairly high-scoring game. We got two really high-powered offenses going up against each other, and I know when these two teams played last season, I think they played twice last season, both games were really good. I think the Chargers won the first game in Week 3, 30-24, and then they played again in Week 15. The Chargers lost, but it was a 34-28 game that went to overtime. So I'm excited for this one. We're going to talk through a couple of props I like on Prizepicks for this game. I got two picks I'm going to share in this video. Normally for these primetime games, when we only have one game to kind of bet on, I try and limit how many picks I give out in these videos just because when you only have one game, you're limited to what you can choose from. And I don't want to give out like a ton of picks just for one game. So got two picks I like for this Thursday night game. Before we talk through our two plays for today, guys, just real quickly, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you have not yet. We are going to be uploading Prizepicks videos all throughout the NFL season. We're going to be uploading at least 3 Prizepicks videos a week, covering the Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football games, and we're going to cover the full Sunday slate as well, talking through some props. So you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. Also, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you guys have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, definitely get over there. Make sure to sign up with promo code NOAH. When you do sign up with my promo code, Prizepicks will match your first deposit up to $100. And feel free to take a look at all the props that Prizepicks has available already for Thursday night. They have a ton of stuff up right now. I'm sure they'll add even more props as we get closer to the start of the game on Thursday night. And they have stuff up already for Sunday. And I know a lot of the sports books don't even have props up yet for the full Sunday slate. But Prizepicks has like all their props available, even for some of the Monday games. So Prizepicks gets their projections up quick. If you want to take advantage of some of these early lines, take a look at kind of their early projections. If you have a lean one way or the other, you take more or less on a projection. Make at least 2 picks, but you can make up to 5 picks. You can mix and match sports as well on Prizepicks. Like you can do some NFL picks, pair those with some college football. Like if you're into college football, if you're into PGA, if you're into MLB, Prizepicks, they offer every sport imaginable, and you can mix and match sports. You can do multi-sport entries. It's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend you guys get over there, sign up, use code NOAH, get that deposit bonus when you do sign up. Real quickly though, before we talk through our two plays for this game, guys, we can recap the 2 picks that we gave out on Monday for Monday Night Football, that the Broncos and Seahawks game. And man, I felt really good about the 2 picks that we gave out Monday. We took the over on Geno Smith's passing yards. We took that at 100. I think it was 189.5, and I think Geno threw for like 195 yards or something. He looked great out of the gate. He threw for like 70 yards on their first drive, and he hit his passing yards, I want to say fairly early, like early in the 4th quarter. So that one wasn't too much of a sweat. But man, the Russell Wilson taking him over 1.5 passing touchdowns, that one was as big of a sweat as it gets. And unfortunately, Russell Wilson did not throw for 2 touchdowns. He only threw for 1. But I felt really good about that play, man. We had really good odds on that play. DraftKings Sportsbook had Russell Wilson's over 1.5 touchdowns. I think at minus 145. Prizepicks actually took that prop off their board because the percentage, like the odds of that prop hitting were so high that Prizepicks literally took the prop off their board. So I felt really good about it, man. I felt really good about that play. Russ did throw for a touchdown in the first half on a deep ball to Jerry Jeudy, but unfortunately in the second half he couldn't throw for another touchdown. There was multiple times. There was 2 times when they got down at the 1. He threw the ball. I think he threw a little screen to Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon got tackled at the 1-yard line, and then the next play they ran the ball and fumbled. So that was annoying. And then it happened again. There was another play where I think it was one of the tight ends. It might have been Albert O. He caught a ball near the goal line, got tackled literally at the 1-yard line. Next play, they ran the ball, fumbled, and it gave the ball back to the Seahawks. And then there was another play when they were in the red zone. Russell Wilson threw like an out route, and I think the guy made the catch. I can't remember who it was, but he made the catch, but his feet were out of bounds, and it was close. Like his foot was barely out of bounds. So many opportunities, man. If you were watching that game, there were so many opportunities for Russell Wilson to throw for 2 touchdowns, and just he couldn't do it. But it is what it is. We move on to Thursday night. Got 2 picks I like for this Thursday night game, so let's talk through them. We're going to start off in the fantasy score category. This is one reason I like to play on Prizepicks. You can actually take a player to have more or less than their fantasy point projection. And I know a lot of, obviously sports books don't offer fantasy score projections, but on Prizepicks you can take fantasy score. And we've all played fantasy football before, so we know how the scoring works. And there's one prop I like for the fantasy score, and it's going to be Justin Herbert. I like him to have more than 21 fantasy points here. I think this is a good spot for Herbert. I think this is a game that sets up really well in terms of just scoring. Right now, this game does have a very, very high total. I'm pretty sure it actually has the highest total on the entire Week 2 slate. 54.5 total right now in this Chiefs-Chargers game. It actually opened at 52.5, and it's been bet up to 54.5. The Chiefs are favored by 4. Justin Herbert, he is going to be missing one of his key weapons. It does look like Keenan Allen is going to miss this game. Keenan Allen is probably not going to play. But I still think Herbert can get us 21 fantasy points here. Right now, when you look at Herbert's odds, just kind of looking at all of his props. So for his passing yards, right now his passing yards prop on DraftKings Sportsbook is set at 284.5. So he's basically projected to throw around 300 yards. His passing touchdowns is set at 1.5 with minus 225 on the over. So Herbert is a massive favorite to throw for at least 2 touchdowns, and he does have a little bit of rushing upside as well. He's not going to run for a ton, but I know his rushing yards, right now, like his rushing yard prop is set at, where's it at? Or I know Prizepicks has a rushing yard prop. Like they have it at 13.5. Herbert can run. He's not a guy that's, they don't run a lot of design runs for Herbert, but if he gets pressure on him, he can scramble. He can run for, 15, 20 yards. He can get you some rushing yards. He can get rushing touchdowns too. But I just think when you're looking at this game with how high scoring this game is projected to be, with how good this Chargers offense is, even without Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert still has plenty of weapons. He's got Austin Eckler out of the backfield. He's got Mike Williams. Gerald Everett, looked good in his Week 1 debut with the Chargers. They got Josh Palmer as well, who I think is going to be a good guy to fill in for Keenan Allen. Josh Palmer's a talented receiver, so I like this one quite a bit, over 21 fantasy points for Justin Herbert. If he throws for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, that puts him at 20 fantasy points right there, not including any potential rushing yards he may get or anything like that. So 300 yards, 2 touchdowns is kind of what I'm banking on from Herbert, if not, hopefully a little bit more than that. And that would put him over 21 fantasy points. And for what it's worth, he in their 2 games against the Chiefs last season, so when they played in Week 3, it was a 30-24 final score. The Chargers won that game. Justin Herbert had 30.8 fantasy points in that Week 3 game against the Chiefs. And then when they played again in Week 15, that game went to overtime. The Chiefs won that one 34-28. Justin Herbert had 24 fantasy points. So 30 and 24 fantasy points in his 2 games last season against the Chiefs. I think he can get us 21 fantasy points here. And one more thing to mention, the Chiefs last season, they did actually allow the second most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. So the matchup, I think, is pretty solid too. I think all the boxes are checked here. I feel like this fantasy score projection could be a little bit higher for Herbert, even without Keenan Allen. I still think he has enough weapons to for this offense to be good, for them to put up points. And yeah, that's going to be our first play for today, is Justin Herbert to have more than 21 fantasy points. And then our second play to pair with Herbert, we're going to be taking Juju Smith-Schuster to have more than 5 receptions. And this is one that I like quite a bit as well. I think we're getting some pretty good odds on this play because right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, Juju Smith-Schuster, his reception prop is actually set at 5.5, and it's even money. So I'm kind of surprised Prizepicks hasn't bumped this up yet to 5.5. Normally, Prizepicks is going to adjust their lines based on what the sportsbooks have. So the fact that Juju's reception prop is set at 5.5 and it's even money makes me think this is going to get bumped at some point. So I like getting it at 5. I think Juju can definitely catch at least 5 balls. He did catch 6 balls in his Week 1 debut with the Chiefs. He caught 6 balls, and he had I think he had 8 targets. He had the second most targets on the team behind Travis Kelce. Juju played on a good amount of the snaps as well. He played on 66% of the snaps, and he would have played more than 66% of the snaps, but the Chiefs, they blew out the Cardinals, and a good amount of the starters did not play much in the fourth quarter. So Juju's going to be pretty much like an every down receiver. His ADOT is going to be fairly low, which is good for receptions. Like, obviously, McCole Hardman, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, those guys are going to be used as kind of like deep threats. Those are guys that have a lot of speed, that can run vertical routes, that can catch long balls. Juju's going to be kind of like a quick slants guy. Like, he's going to run a lot of quick routes, slants, out routes, stuff like that. And that's going to be good for receptions because obviously those are, those kind of routes run are going to be catchable balls. It's a lot easier to catch a slant than it is to catch a 50-yard bomb. Obviously, with Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback, pretty much any ball is going to be catchable because he's so accurate. But I do like this line at 5. I think getting it at 5, there's some safety with this. I think if he finishes with 5, it's not going to be a loss. It'll count as a push. As long as Herbert goes over, if Juju pushes, we still get 1.5x our money. So I like getting this line at 5. I think Juju can catch at least 5 balls on Thursday night. It's a good game. It's a game that should be high scoring, should see a lot of points scored. we should see Patrick Mahomes dropping back a lot, throwing the ball a lot. And obviously, Juju should be one of his #1 targets. He was second on the team in targets in week 1. Probably going to be second on the team in targets for pretty much the entire season. I would expect Travis Kelce leads the team in targets, but Juju should be right behind him. So, like this one as our second pick to round out our 2-pick entry, going to be taking Juju Smith-Schuster to have more than 5 receptions. 5 receptions or more, pretty much. If he finishes with 5, it doesn't count as a loss. It would count as a push, and we could still win some money if Herbert goes over. But that's what I like for Thursday Night Football, guys. Again, it should be a great game. It should be a fairly high-scoring game as well. When these teams have played, the Chiefs and the Chargers, it's usually been a really good game. So definitely excited for this one. Excited to sweat out these 2 picks, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're tailing me on these 2 picks, I wish you the best of luck. I know we have not gotten off to a good start to the NFL season. NFL has not started off the way that I would like, but I feel good about the plays I give out every day. I feel good about these 2 picks, so hopefully these 2 come through. Hopefully today we can make a little bit of money. But yeah, guys, good luck on the slate. Thanks for watching the video as always. Hit that like button before you get out of here. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And make sure to check out Prizepicks as well. If you have not signed up for Prizepicks yet, get over there, sign up, use promo code NOAH, get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. But as always, guys, best of luck. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.